Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Madhusmita. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome, Madhusmita. You're looking beautiful, Madhusmita. What is the occasion today? You have to go somewhere, is it?
No, for this session only.
Okay.
So where
That's
I'm
good.
going.
Th- That's good to see that, you're all decked up, all ready to give a wonderful speech. So, looking forward to your speech.
Yeah, thank you.
You're going to sit and give a speech, or you're going to stand and give a speech?
No, no, I will stand and give my speech.
Okay. Do you want to do your audio video check?
Yeah, I mean I can do. So
I mean, know where you're standing and see. Okay. Can you, do you want to give it with a blur background or?
yes,
Okay, fine.
or
Okay.
you is it fine? Blur.
Yeah, I can see you, but it is advisable to not blur the background, but I can understand. I can understand. If you want to give it, please go ahead, as long as you're comfortable.
Okay, okay. But the audio is coming, right?
Yes, but know where you're standing, come little forward.
Okay,
Yeah, fine. This is the perfect place. I can see you.
okay.
If you don't go too back, so know where you're standing so that when you're giving speech, you're standing there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now you can sit.
Okay.
Hello, Richa. I know you must be away since I can see you on mute, but good morning.
Hi, Richa.
What plans, Madhusmita, for the weekend?
Uh, no plans as such.
Mhm.
I mean, no plans.
Okay, got it, got it.
What about you? Any plans?
What what plans do I have? Plans, not really, but I have to prepare for an interview. That is the plan for now. Other than that,
Mhm.
yeah, a little busy with house. I'm planning to buy a house, so little busy with that.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. So you're planning to switch a company, changing, I mean, quitting
No,
SG, SSBC, right?
yeah, I'm not planning to switch. I have an opening in my own company, so I'm planning to apply
Oh,
for VP. So yeah,
Hey everyone. Sorry, I know you guys said hello, but I was just moving around.
no worries, no worries.
yeah.
Shall we start checking if people are joining in? I don't see people. I don't think we have texted them much.
Ramesh said I'm joining a little late.
Ramesh
Uh,
is the joke master and the
Timer.
timer. Okay.
Mm, Jaya,
Our counter, we don't have our counter.
yeah, we'll skip the counter. More to do. Raman, who else should be joining? You are there with you.
Raman is joining in. We have silent
Mm,
announce PO, TMOD, GE, timer is late. Nivedita. Nivedita, Raman, Jaya.
Everyone, good morning.
Good morning, Jaya. Jaya, curious question. What does P stand for? in your name?
That's my father's name, Parameshwaran. So in South
Okay.
India, we have this habit of having either mother's or father's name as our initial. So yeah.
So does your kids have your husband's name?
Yeah,
Okay.
her initial is C Sai
Okay.
Akshita.
Okay.
Good to see Madhusmita after a very long time. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, everything is good. I think I have joined from Jan, uh, second half of Jan. Two sessions I have already attended in January and February. So
I am more happy she's all decked up for her speech. That is what makes me, look. I asked her, looking wonderful, you're looking beautiful, Madhusmita. What's the occasion? And she's like, no,
Ready
no,
for
I'm
the
more.
speech. That's good that you're preparing that much for the speech. I'm not able to because I go to the gym and come back and join. It's very good.
You're glowing, Madhu. You're glowing today.
We are still waiting on people. We cannot start it if we don't have a few of them. What about the others? Ritika is away, Shweta is away, Sheetal is away. Three of them are away. What about the others?
Well, I've given up, Rita. I have told them if they're away, mention, they don't mention. So ignorance is bliss, is what I've understood.
Okay, I think we can start.
Yes.
Only Ramesh from Don't Take a Respect. Okay. Good morning, everyone. How are you guys today on a Saturday morning?
Awesome.
I see a lot of thumbs up and a lot of people ready to give their speeches for the Toastmaster meeting. Wonderful. Well, I did not have a wonderful start to my weekend last night. Nonetheless, I am all ready for this meeting to help me start my weekend in a very awesome manner. And theme for today, again, I'm looking forward to it, hoping to understand stoicism a bit more. It's a concept which I tried to understand, but it's been beyond me so far. Howsoever, let's get into why Toastmaster meetings. So to state, I know we do not have guests in the club. Howsoever, let's state the mission of a Toastmaster club for all our reminders to all of us, right? The mission of Toastmaster Club is that we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. And that's why we all are here, right? To ensure that we develop or have a personal development, soft skill development, which will help us in other aspects of our life. However, to do that, we have certain ground rules to ensure that every member has a positive experience. First and foremost, please ensure you have all your noise making devices turned off. And since it is online, I'll request you, if you're not speaking, if you're not on stage, please keep your microphone on mute. That's the first and foremost rule. The second rule being, try and be on camera as much as possible. If a speaker is speaking, try not to switch on or off your camera during the speech. Maybe if you have to, you can take it a few minutes up and here and there after the speech is completed. That is the second rule. The third being, please refrain from talking on sensitive topics like sex, religion, or politics. And if you want to bring up such topics, please do so in a very sensitive manner so as not to offend anyone in the meeting present today. With that, let us all, I see we have a guest joining in. I will let our presiding officer welcome the guests. Howsoever, I welcome you to our Speaker Squad Club meeting number 137. With that, let me introduce our presiding officer, who is the president of our club. And most of us know him as a very diligent person, very disciplined person, someone who is very organized as well. There are so many things I can go on and on about him. Fitness freak, someone who runs marathons, and someone who is very into ensuring that they become a better version every day. With that, let us please join our hands to welcome Toastmaster Richard as the presiding officer of the meeting today.
Thank you so much, DTM Richa. It's such a wonderful way to start off the meeting. So much energy. Now, to carry that energy, she has passed the baton on to me. Well, Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through its worldwide network of clubs. Now, Toastmaster was founded in the year 1924 by Ralph Smedley. He's a Fullerton, California insurance salesman who wanted to improve his public speaking skills just like many of us. So, what he did, he gathered a group of his friends and colleagues, and they began meeting regularly to practice giving speeches and receive feedback from each other. So, with that being said, I would like to ask Ritwij, and if correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, correct me. A little bit about yourself, maybe a line or two, and how did you hear about Toastmasters, and probably where you're working.
Yeah, so currently I'm a final year student in Manipal doing my internship at Tata Elxsi. So my aim was to improve my communication skills since I am too hesitant, so I wanted to go away from that.
Good morning to you again, Ritvich. It's good to hear that you're in your final year in Manipal and you're currently doing your internship. And probably this is the right place for you to help your communication skills. And when you become better at communication skills, that is when you probably take a step forward to become a better leader as well. So that is what Toastmasters helps us or gives us a platform to understand ourselves and to become a better version of ourselves. With that being said, let us now move into a little bit about theme. Now, some interesting fact about Stoicism is some of the most well-known Stoic figures include such as Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, or Seneca. These are the famous Stoic philosophers. Now, they were not kings or rulers or somebody. Epictetus was a former slave who became a prominent Stoic teacher. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor known for his philosophical writings. Especially everybody whom I know, they tell me read meditations is what everybody suggests. And Seneca was a statesman and playwright who served as an advisor to Emperor Nero. So what Stoicism teaches us is that it is not only for the greats, but Stoicism is from the grassroots that anybody and everybody can apply in their life. So this is what Stoicism teaches us. I've already introduced the guests. Now I have few announcements to make. The club has submitted Moments of Truth and club succession plan. The Moments of Truth was due on 29th Feb. We submitted it last week itself. Now the club is hosting an open house session on 9th of March. So I request all the members to take part and help the team in organizing this event. Now, there is an open role of SAA, Sergeant at Arms, in the executive committee for this term, that is Jan to June. So, if you are interested, please come forward and take this role up because Krishnadas, who has taken this role up, he has switched his roles and he is unable to come and attend the meetings. So, henceforth, we do not have any other option. So, I'm opening that role up for others to grab it. And if you are away on some of the meetings, it is totally understandable, but it is a very simple rule. You have to come. And you saw today what Richard did, started the meeting with so much energy. That is what is required out of you. So there is nothing much to cater to from a sergeant at arms role point of view. With that being said, let me introduce the Toastmaster of the day, who is none other than myself. Richa has already introduced me, so I don't have to introduce myself all over again. So let me tell you a little bit more about Stoicism. It's an ancient philosophy founded in Greece around probably 300 BC by a person called Zeno, Zeno. Now, one thing that I've learned from Stoicism is it focuses solely on accepting things we cannot control and focuses on what we can control. Now, this has helped me a lot, especially to curb my anxiety around a lot of things. The few of the things that I really look at is there are two things in life. Let's say things that you can control and things that you can't control. Now, if you can control, if something is in your control, why you have to worry? Because it is in your control. If something is not in your control, then why you have to worry? Because it is not in your control. I know it seems very simple, right? But most of us have that anxiety. A good example is what is in my control to go and give an interview. But if they select me or not is not in my control. So why do I have to worry? Will they pick me for this role or not? No. Will I reduce my fat or weight? Is everybody's question is, will I reduce my fat or weight? But why are we thinking in those lines? We have to think is all I have to do, which is in my control, is go to gym and come back, eat right. I'm not saying eat due diligently and something like that. Control your stress, control your sleep, control your food, control your exercise. But that is in your control. But most of us ask me wrong questions. How can I cut down 5 kgs? How can I cut down 10 kgs within so much amount of time? But again, I tell them, do not worry about that. Worry what's in your control. You do not have to cut down weight. You have to cut down fat, not weight. Losing weight doesn't mean you're losing fat, right? You can lose muscle as well. So always worry about what is in your control. With that being said, let me talk about the three disciplines. Out of the three disciplines, let me talk about the first discipline. And by the end of it, I want somebody to tell me what are the three disciplines. So I'm giving you a heads up that remember what are the three disciplines. The first discipline being discipline of perception. Most of us, or even myself, what I've learned is we judge people in and around us. Oh, look, he's drinking his coffee by making noise. Something that, we are sitting with our friends and then they're like, oh, look, he's eating by hand, not by spoon. So we judge anybody and everybody that are in and around us. Something that Stoicism teaches us is reality is neutral. To a tree, there is no concept of right or wrong or good or bad. For us, everything should be as neutral as possible. Avoid judgmental interpretations and accepting what's outside of our control. Perception teaches us to shape our emotional response. The first is discipline of perception. Ensure that do not judge people in and around you. Take things as it comes. Be like a tree. For tree, reality is very neutral. For tree, there is no good or bad, right or wrong. Yeah. What works for you does not work for everybody. For us, something that we learn, the way I have become a better speaker, not necessarily that for others it works the same way. Yeah. And I also tell each and everybody, for some Toastmasters may work. For some Toastmasters may not work. For some gym works, for some badminton or running works. So everybody's piece of cake is different. So know yourself and do not become very judgmental of things. What has happened to me, not necessary happens to others. I can get a promotion in 1 year, but that doesn't mean somebody else also have the same learning path and get a promotion in 1 year. So don't judge everybody by the looks of your eyes. Everybody's experiences, life has taught them different ways. We our childhoods are different, our experiences are different by how we have come. So the first lesson that we have is discipline of perception. Stop judging people. Yeah, take a step back. They might have had various circumstances by which they are what they are today. With that being said, now let me explain the agenda of today's meeting. We are following the standard agenda of a Toastmasters meeting with three sections. The first section is prepared speeches, where speakers deliver speeches from their pathway projects. These projects have set objectives basis which they write their speech, craft their speech, and then they present their speech. These speeches have set objectives and an individual evaluator. The second section is table topics, where topics master gives anybody the chance to speak impromptu on a provided topic. Now, all the guests, such as so Ritwij is here with us, you can also take part in table topics. It will be a simple topic. Nothing very extravagant where you have to break your head. There is no rocket science in and around it. So you can speak on those topics. And the last section is evaluation, where the general evaluator and their team provide feedback to everybody who speaks throughout the meeting. So our general evaluator for today is someone who hails from Odisha and passionate about her skills to make a difference. She's also a talented puzzle solver and an avid workout enthusiast. And I don't know, in the last 1 year, she has transformed herself so much. Now, probably I have to push another gear and go up a little bit. So I'm also getting inspired from her. So please give a warm welcome to DTM Richa.
Toastmaster Richard, and I'm back in another role as the general evaluator of the meeting. I will talk about my role, but let the other part of my role is to ensure, okay, not the other part. Toastmaster Richard, our TMOD, introduced 3 segments of the meeting today. The first, prepared speech, second, table topics, third is the evaluation section for the benefits of guests. General evaluator leads the evaluation section or the third section. We all are here to improve. To improve, we need feedback. That's where general evaluator, along with my evaluators, help all of us receive feedback in the meeting today. Now, who are the role takers? Who are the evaluators who are going to help us today? Let me introduce them one by one. The first and foremost, since our meeting is very restricted, that's why we have a timer for the meeting. And today, the timer is someone who is a garment technician at Lifestyle International. He loves sports and networking. Trust me, he is a very creative person heading the PR for our division F as well. For all the creative posters that you see, he's the one responsible right now. So let us all please welcome Toastmaster Ramesh as the timer for today. Over to you.
Good morning, Toastmasters. Sorry, I have some issue with my camera. I'm unable to come on videos. Today, I have taken a role of timer. My role is how to note down the time is taken by each and every speakers, evaluators, and table topic speakers. Since we don't have any first speech of the path, so we have only 2 prepared speeches. One, the allowed time for the prepared speech is 5 to 7 minutes. After 5 minutes, I will change my background to green. After 6 minutes, I'll change my background to yellow. After 7 minutes, I'll change my background to red. For the evaluator, the allowed time is 2 to 3 minutes. After 2 minutes, I'll change my background to green. After 3 minutes, 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll change my background to yellow. After 3 minutes, I'll change my background to red. For the table topic session, the allowed time is 1 to 2 minutes. So after 2 minutes, after 1 minute, I'll change my background to green. After 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll change into yellow. After 2 minutes, I'll turn to red. So after display the red backgrounds, there will be allowed time of 30 seconds. Within that, all the speakers, evaluators, and tabletop speakers, they have to complete their speech. Otherwise, they will be disqualified for the evaluation. But I will come up with a detailed report at the end of the meeting once GE called upon. Thank you, Toastmaster Richa. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ramesh. Just a slight correction. You disqualified for evaluation, irrespective of how much time you take, you will get a feedback. However, in case of voting, you will get disqualified. We have voting for best role takers at the end. That's where you'll get disqualified. Let's now move on to the next role taker of our meeting. That is the grammarian role. And it is being taken by an assistant manager at EY today. She is an avid reader and try new ways to organize her home, and she comes up with very creative themes and ideas and productivity hacks for all of us anytime she takes up Toastmaster of the Day. With that, over to you, Toastmaster Nivedita, as the grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richa. Hi, everyone. I'm Nivedita, and I'm glad to be your grammarian for this meeting. So, as a grammarian, I have a couple of roles. One, to make a note of good usage of grammar. Second, to keep an eye on good usage of words and the phrases by all of you. And the third one is to maintain a report in which I will track all the words and the phrases that you use, and then I will share it with a grammarian once called upon. The last thing is I am also responsible to share a word and a phrase for today's meeting. So the word for today's meeting would be bland, which is BLAND. So the meaning of that is to show no strong emotion. So basically, you don't really show much emotion. So a simple word for that is bland. And there is another meaning for the same word, which is tasteless. When the food is tasteless, we say that the food is bland, something like that. The example for this word is his expression was bland and unreadable. So that will be the word for the day. And the phrase would be mind over matter. The meaning of this phrase is the power of mind is stronger than the physical forces or any other challenges. So the usage would be, for example, like even though John was exhausted and his muscles ached, he persisted in running the marathon, demonstrating that with enough mental fortitude, it truly is mind over matter. So when you have a mental power, you can overcome any challenges. Basically, this is what the phrase means. So I will be sharing the word and the phrase in the chat box, and I encourage all of you to add this in your speech today. Thank you. Over to you, Grimiri.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nivedita. For the benefit of guests, we do have one more role as our in the evaluation section or the auxiliary role taker section, which is the R counter. Howsoever, today, due to shortage of people that we have in our meeting, people are out for the weekend. We are skipping that role. Nonetheless, we all at this today, we are free to use as many crutch words as we can because no one is evaluating us. I would request our evaluators for the prepared speakers, if possible, to note down if you notice any such filler words for the prepared speakers. With that, coming to my role as the general evaluator, while I introduce all the role takers, I would come towards the end of the meeting and present my report, wherein I will cover everything right from the start, even before the start of the meeting, if something should be done and it's not been done, towards the end of the meeting, until the meeting goes right. How was the energy of the meeting? Did we all did we appreciate the speakers, or we were all bland in our expressions and our reactions after the speeches? Did we really put mind over matter, or did we just sit there and did not listen? Did we not take in anything from the meeting, right? Take back anything for a positive or learning feedback, right? So all of that combinedly, you'll see that in the report until the end. Stay tuned, enjoy the meeting, have a happy Saturday morning. With that, back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Richa. Well, with that energy, let's dive into the prepared speeches section. Our first speaker is being evaluated by one of the passionate Toastmasters of our club, who is also a puzzle enthusiast and a loving mother. Please welcome Jayalakshmi. I request Jayalakshmi to set the objectives for our speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. Today, Toastmaster Ramesh is attempting his L1 P2, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong. And the purpose of the statement is, the purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. My best wishes to you, Toastmaster Raman. Back to you, Toastmaster Richard.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayalakshmi. Raman, do you want to do an audio video check before I introduce you?
Yeah, that would be great. Am I audible? And am I
Yes.
visible? Yep.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. And
Okay.
one more request. Is it possible for the timer to, along with the showing a display of timer cards, can he make a sound or say, because I'll be sharing slides, so I wouldn't know when the green card flashes. So can the timer even say when it's green, unmute himself and, say green so that I would know when it's green?
It will be distracting for you. I can try to Give some
Yeah.
bell sound.
Even a buzzer sound or any of that sound, any sound
I'll try to give.
that's good enough. Yes.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ramesh, for accommodating that request of Raman in the end minute. So that is kudos to you for ensuring that, okay, you can make that arrangement for now. Well, with that, let me introduce our speaker and the title of his speech. So Raman, road safety, the watermelon effect. Road safety, the watermelon effect, Raman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard, once again. Take Me Home, Country Roads is one of my favorite songs whenever I go on a drive. It is a song by John Denver. Has anyone listened to this song before? Or is anyone aware of this? All right, it's a classic rock song which everyone would love to listen to. My fellow Toastmasters and guests, let's buckle up, fasten our seatbelts and embark on a journey, a road trip, to ensure that we are not just safe and sound while driving, but also well aware of the rules and priorities while we are driving. Of course, there's a fun part to it, to go on long drives and enjoy the trips that we embark on. But today I'll be presenting some of those facts based on my research into the factual data that has been prepared or presented or was reported by the Government of India in one of its circulars, which was published recently. So I'll be, as part of my presentation, I'll be sharing some slides. Let me know once you're able to see my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So, thank you. So, what you might be wondering what this watermelon effect is all about. Watermelon effect is that it's a phrase which is used in data sciences, which is to say on the face of it, everything appears to be green. But when we slice and dice the data, we see it is deep red. My data research into this factual report, which has been published, finds something similar to this. This report is taking 2016 year as a base, where 4.8 lakh accidents were reported, and it goes all the way till 2021. In 2017, they saw a reduction in accidents as well as fatalities or injuries. But in 2018, almost with static number, or there was no change. There was a decimal change as compared to 2017. 2019, there was a further reduction in number of accidents in India, owing to new roads and new plans and a little bit of repair work which was done. 2020, as we are all aware that it was a pandemic year, it resulted in a drastic result in fatalities due to lockdown measures implemented by the government. 2021, however, on the contrary, there was a double-digit sharp rise in number of accidents and fatalities. In fact, it's the highest number of fatalities and accidents were reported in 2021 compared to all of these years. The road ahead doesn't look that good. It's a little bit bumpy for 2023 and 22 and beyond. This might shock you or surprise you in a very unpleasant way, because India stands second when it comes to number of accidents reported. And the key number to note here is the other one, which is showing 1,51,000, which is the number of people killed on road, which is higher than the numbers of people killed in terrorist attacks, nuclear fallout, or even in other major incidents reported. Of course, we are leaving out the pandemic resulted fatalities here. So this is the alarming or the deep red side of the watermelon effect is what I would like to conclude with. That number might trigger one particular thought in us. We might be thinking maybe this could be the reason due to lack of infrastructure, physical infrastructure or health related infrastructure, or lack of hospitals or bad roads. But the other data point suggests something contrary. Here, if we see the number of accidents which are being reported, majority of those are, apart from those which are happening on national highways and state highways, which is the roads which are within the city limits. That's where the maximum number of accidents and fatalities are being reported. And behavior or the type of violations, if we see, over speeding is a major reason. So if a person a person is more vulnerable to be to succumb to an accident if somebody is walking on the street in a city area with where an overspeeding vehicle is, who could be the reason for a fatality. To avoid this, we have to follow some basic rules which have already been laid out by the as part of the traffic rules. Stop, wait, and go, as we see on the bottom left corner of the screen, or be it what we see on the top right corner of the screen. Follow the speed limit, follow the stop signs, follow the parking signs, and keep left mandatory signs and prohibitory signs as they are. And this is a report, name of the report, which was which I had mentioned earlier, and this is a source of the report from which I was able to collect the information from. This report starts with one important quote or a saying from Will Self, which says, in survey after survey, people report that the greatest dangers they face are in this order: terrorist attack, plane crashes, and nuclear accidents. This despite the fact that these three combined have killed fewer people in the past half century than car accidents do in any given year. On this note, I would like to persuade you all on two important points. Firstly, prioritize to follow traffic rules at all given point of time. And secondly, always prioritize to be safe. On that note, I would hand it over back to the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Richard. Thank you.
Thank you, Raman. Thank you, Raman, for taking us through your journey and your research on road fatalities that happen on a year-on-year basis. The two key takeaways from me was follow signals, stop over speeding, and in the end, the message was follow traffic rules and always prioritize your safety. So thank you, Raman, for taking us through your wonderful research, which was also published by the government of India as well. And I would also request everybody to take care of your health and follow signals and always prioritize your safety. With that, let us move on to our second speaker, who is evaluated by me. And the purpose of our second speaker's speech is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well organized and well researched speech on any topic. Please welcome our second speaker, Madhusmita. Burden of what will people say? Burden of what will people say, Madhusmita? Madhusmita, you're on mute.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. Good morning, dear Toastmasters. Have you ever wondered what is it that kills dreams in this world? You might think fear kills dreams. You might think rejection kills dreams. You might think people kill dreams. But the genuine fact is, what will people say that have killed many dreams in this world than fear, rejection, and people combined together? Let me ask you this question. Are you familiar with this thought process? What will people say or think before starting or doing anything that is different? Can you raise your hands, please? Have you familiar with this thought process? Yes. So I think this is normal because the way we have been raised. And before sharing my thought why this thought process comes into our system, I would like to share one quote that says something like this: the more and more you will pay attention to what will people say, the more and more you will become their prisoners, which is not a good sign. Now, for people who know me, they often say I'm a soft person, or I'm a quiet, silent type of person. Why? When I ask this question to myself, why am I like this? So it always takes me to my childhood days, the background, the environment where I was raised. So I come from a background where girls speaking softly or girls being obedient were appreciated. Their parents were appreciated for having such a nice girl. Knowingly or unknowingly, I acquired those mannerisms and it reflected in my behavior. Probably I was trying to be in good books of all of those people. Fortunately or unfortunately, people who I was looking up to, they did not show me the reality of the world. Face any problem. The problem started when I came outside and joined corporate sector. Now in corporate sector, being always silent, not counterattacking some of the opinions is not a good trait. You won't get rewarded for being such type of personality. I had to change, but the change is very slow because there is an image my mind has built, image of myself, and I'm also aware people have their perceptions about me. Become she's a goody goody type of girl. So to break that perception, you know, it takes time. It's not that I don't want to raise my voice. I have tried. Even sometimes I succeeded. But even after doing that, I will think, I kind of regret. Have I done a mistake? Have I hurt anyone in that process? Will people accept me, this newer version of me? Somewhere this thought process is there, and the cause is what will people say. Now, there are some other observations why this thought process is there in us. If you see, during childhood, parents will encourage their child, to study hard, get most good scores. There is no harm in encouraging the child, but I feel during that process, somewhere we compare, the child to others. And the poor child would think, what will happen? What will people say or think if I won't score more marks? So during that fragile period of our life, this thought process, what will people say, comes into our system. There are some other comparisons, societal expectations that pressurizes us to behave, like others. For example, you are at a certain age, get married, have kids. People or friends of your age have invested or own these big properties. Be in a certain shape. And nowadays, the social media comparison. So I feel comparison is kind of creates this thought process within us. And we kind of feel, am I becoming a lesser person than my peers? If I won't behave what is expected me to behave as per the societal conditions. In that process, we suppress our own dreams. We behave like others. What will people say? It was always there in the society. No matter whatever you do, you will always listen some of the other things that people would be talking about you. But despite that, in our society, there are many live examples where people have achieved their success. They were able to convert their dreams into reality. And the key differentiator is they believed in themselves and they filtered out whatever was told to them, and they kind of they were able to eliminate those people talk or the noise around them. So, dear Toastmasters, what will people say? What will people think? How they will react if I'll do like this? It will happen always. We can't control them. We should practice stoicism. We should be bland sometimes to people's attitude or to people's behavior towards us. What will people say? It is a very powerful force. We should get rid of this force and believe in ourselves, craft our own journey, and be a unique person in this society. There might be 100 reasons not to work towards your dream, not to fulfill your dreams, but what will people say, or the burden of what will people say should not be one of those reasons. Be you and be successful. Thank you, dear Toastmasters.
Thank you, Madhusmita, for being you and being successful and yet another delivering another speech. And I must say, I appreciate the courage that you have taken to come forward and share your own life story as to what has happened throughout the years and how you have come out of the shelf of not thinking what others will think. Yeah, ultimately, we need to take that stand and go forward and achieve our dreams. Sometimes we may succeed, sometimes we may not succeed, but ultimately, it is within us. What we want to do and what we want to achieve is all just within us. With that being said, from discipline of perception, let me move on to discipline of action. Now, Stoicism encourages us to, continually pursue knowledge and strive for self improvement. And as Seneca wisely said, let's aim to learn something new every day. Because character is not a trait, but a result of consistent actions towards growth and improvement. So, there are few examples that comes into my mind. It took me 6 to 9 months to lose 20 kgs. So it didn't happen over a single day, single month, over 2, 3 months. It took me a long time to pursue what I had within me. So go to gym, eat right, go sleep well, manage your stress. So this I had to do it over and over and over again to achieve that goal of mine. To become a better speaker, we need to put in at least 10 to 15 minutes of our daily effort. Okay. Something that I've learned recently is that read a book. If you're really struggling, pick a book, read a book for 5 minutes, record yourself in a smartphone that we have, and then hear yourself speak. There might be words that you might be thinking, oh, I'm not pronouncing this properly. But if you put in that effort over and over and again, you will definitely become a better speaker, better leader. Ultimately, you need to put in that effort. Trust me, I hated reading. I started reading because somebody gifted me a book by Ryan Holiday called The Obstacle is the Way. And that is when I started discover that okay, reading gives me so much of knowledge. So I built in that practice of reading every day at least for 10 minutes. No matter how busy the day is, I have my Kindle with me, which is right over here. And before I go to bed, I just pick up the Kindle and read it. And this even has a night vision in it. So it doesn't impact my eyes before I go to sleep. So pick up something that you want to really help yourself on and build that discipline of action within you. With that being said, let us move to our third round three, which is our table topics. And that concludes also our prepared speeches section. We had two wonderful speakers who gave a wonderful speeches. So to conduct the table topics, please welcome our table topics master. And a table topics master is always willing to help others. Whenever I reach out to him, he's always there. And if he's not there, he'll ensure that, he gets things done. He's always looking for new ways to connect with people. And also, he's a big fan of Rajnikant. And his favorite quote is never give up. So please welcome Ramesh to conduct the table topic section.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. Today we have a wonderful theme. So I am planning to do it in a different way since I'm going to play a joke master role as well. Is it okay to ask a joke or play a joke in between the table topic? TMOD, is it okay for you? Great. Let's start with the yeah, Richard.
Yes, Ramesh, all good. All yours.
Okay, let's start with the question. Let's crack a joke, then we'll go for a table topic. Okay, I will ask a question to everyone. How do you open a banana?
Can you repeat that? I did not get. How do you?
How do you open a banana?
With hands.
Not exactly. See, to open anything, we need a key, right? So we can use monkey to open the banana. Monkey. Hope you understood the joke.
Yes,
I think it's a very bad joke, however, it's okay. Okay. Now I'm going to invite you a first table topic speaker. Whoever is interested can raise your hand. I couldn't see. Okay. First is Nivedita. Can you choose any number from 1 to 5? Accordingly, I can show your system.
3.
3. Great. Share my screen.
If you want to feel...
My screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to feel part of a community, when was the last time you contributed to a community? You can think about Toastmasters. I'm giving a hint. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Yeah. So I can resonate with that. So, all right. If you want to feel part of the community, when was the last time you contributed to the community? Okay. This was one of the events where I was reached out by our area president, and I was asked to pick one of the roles, and I had not taken or participated in that role within our club itself. It was little difficult for me because the competition is really tough in the area meetings and all. So when she approached me to take a timer role, it is one of the simplest role, but it adds a lot of value because minute mistake from us can lead to the outcome. It adds a lot of value to the outcome. So I was very mindful and I was very focused throughout the meeting, or throughout the competition, and I was little scared when I was actually making a note of it. I was double checking with other people in the crowd to ensure that I'm doing the right thing. So yeah, this is, and that I wanted to take it, but I was little scared, so I was hesitant. But at the same time, it was one of the busy seasons as well for me at work. But I had to manage the work and I had to contribute here. So yeah, with the little time that I had in hand, I was able to go through the previous recordings of our group, how it is done, and then I made my own notes, and I was able to contribute well in that particular competition. So yeah, so that was one of the experience that I want to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Nivedita. That was a really wonderful thing, because most of us are part of any communities. Whenever we are joining in a community, we always try to do something, but due to some factor, if we are not able to do it, but we have to assign our time to that. If you are committing something, we have to do it. So that's what you have communicated to us. That was a great thing to learn about it. So next speaker is Richa. Before that, I will ask question to all of you. The second question. Okay. Okay. There was a running competition between hot and cold. There was a running competition between hot and cold. What do you think? Who will win? Who will win? Hot win or cold win? Any idea? Okay. Hot won the match because you can easily catch the cold. Okay. With that, I would like to move to the second question. Arisa, can you tell me the number from 1 to 5 without 3?
1.
1. Okay. Hope my screen is visible. When was the last time you did something good? Over to you, Rita.
What does the word to you guys? When I saw this question right now, when was the last time you did something good? I of course my mind went into the overdrive, putting mind over matter, thinking, what have I done for everyone, for others, to be able to help them out so that they feel good. However, there's one very prominent thing, one very important lesson that I have learned over the last few years is that doing something good doesn't really mean or doesn't really have to be for others. Doing something good can be for your own self as well. I know the concept of self-love is it's really on fire these days. Everyone talks about it and all. However, it is really important that we understand it in the right way. It's not about making sure that we be selfish. However, it is about ensuring that we fill our cups regularly, often, even before we drain that out. I, couple years ago, did not really understand this did not understand this concept and went up doing good, or maybe just emptying my cup. And that's when I realized that I was drained out. And that's when I started working out. I started putting some time aside just for myself, where I can go ahead and do something which I enjoy, something good for myself each day. And that starts with my workout, my gym, my yoga every day. So I make sure that I do something good the moment I wake up, and that good is supposed to be for myself, so that throughout the day I can go ahead and do good for others. And trust me, this has worked for me because I fulfill myself every morning. I am able to help a lot of people out at my office, at my work. If anyone else reaches out to me, I am a much kinder, much fulfilled person throughout the day, just because I start my day in a way that I would want it to. With that, I hope that you all take something back and start doing good, not just for others, for yourself as well. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Ramesh.
Thank you, Richa. Doing something good doesn't mean that you have to do something good only to you. You have to do something good to others as well. You rightly said. So with that, I would like to ask one more question. Okay. Okay. So my uncle named his dogs Timex and Rolex. Why? My uncle named his dog Timex and Rolex. Normally, we used to keep name like a tiger, lion to the dog. Instead of that, he changed his mentality and he given a name Timex and Rolex. Why?
Because he is a dog watcher.
Almost. You are correct. They are his watchdogs. Good attempt. Okay, with that, the other person is Richard. Richard, can you choose a number from 1 to 5 without 1 and 3?
I think it's Raman, Ramesh. After that, it's me.
Okay, Raman.
Sure. Thank you, Richard, and thanks, Toastmaster Ramesh. Number 5. I will go with number 5.
5. Here is the question. If you are feeling lonely, what will you do?
Okay. One night, late in the night, I came from office. It was 3 a.m. I suppose. I came home all alone. That is, during those days, pandemic days, I was staying alone, and after coming, I made a cup of coffee for myself, took a book in my hand, read the first line, but something was hitting in the back of my mind. I couldn't read. I flapped the book close, kept it aside, sipped the coffee, and something made me realize. It questioned me based on the line that I had just read in the book. It talked about freedom. Then the question that triggered in my mind was, is this loneliness or is this freedom? And then that also reminded me one of the quotes from one of my favorite series, Mad Men, where the protagonist, Don Draper, quotes it. What is happiness? Happiness is a moment before we need more happiness. Loneliness, freedom, we choose to define it for ourselves. It's a matter of perspectives. Like Toastmaster Richard said earlier in this meeting, we need to read more to uncover or discover this new perspective to define, to move ourselves, shift ourselves from the feeling of loneliness to the feeling of being free, and although we are alone, free and being ourselves. On that note, I'll hand it over back to you, Toastmaster Ramesh. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raman. Loneliness is the only one thing that can be taken into a two ways, either into a saddest way, another way is a positive way. Whenever you are lonely, you can think of yourself. You will find out many things from within you. That is the greatest thing I learned from some of my mentors. Okay, with that, I would like to ask one more question. I think as of now, my jokes are not working out. I have to come up with a good joke. Okay. Two guys have decided to spoil the name of butter and cheese. So they started telling lies. They started telling bad things about them. Out of which, cheese name didn't get spoiled, but butter name gets spoiled. Why? No idea? Because butter always spread easily. So the rumors of butter spread easily. Oh my God, this joke also didn't work here. Nobody's laughing. But we always spread the butter, right? So rumors spread. That's why butter rumors spread a lot. It's still thinking, oh my God, I have to take a separate class for it seems. Fine, it didn't work out today. Very bad job. It is big. So next person is Richard. So you can choose number 2 or 4.
Number 2.
2. Okay, here is a question. If you are worried about the future, can you specifically define what you are worried about?
If I'm worried about the future, what is it that I'm worried about? Good question, Ramesh. I usually don't think too much about what is happening in the future. I always measure the risks that I take. Now, anything that we do is a risk and not a risk. You want to get married is a risk. You don't want to get married is a risk. You go to work is a risk. You don't want to go to work is a risk. You want to have kids is a risk. You don't want to have kids is a risk. You want to become an entrepreneur, it's a risk. You don't want to become an entrepreneur, is a risk. So ultimately, anything and everything in life is something that I value in terms of risks. If you ask me honestly, what am I really worried about? Is, let's say, a divorce is something that I'm worried about. What have I done to eliminate those risks? I have done whatever is in my power. Okay. For example, I'm soon going to be purchasing a flat. Now, you have to go all in when you're marrying a person. But what if something goes wrong? You never know. So what I have done in my power is put the house in my and my mother's name. So let's say something happens to me also. Yeah, you never know if I'm going to wake up tomorrow or not. So if something happens to me, my wife has her share. Something happens to me again, my mom also has her share. So they are not left in a conundrum that what will happen to the house. So always weigh my risks. What are the risks that I'm willing to take? What are the risks that I'm not willing to take? So always measure your risk and then look at what are the things that you can do. And that is something that I am worried about, but it's not in my control. I can only do whatever is in my control. So thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Ramesh.
Thank you, Richard. So rightly said, like many times we are worrying about the future without living in present. So if you are worrying about the future, there has to be a right value to worry about. Day by day, you'll get a lot of worries to worry. So don't worry about that. Okay. So I'll try. I'll try my level to come up with better joke. At least it could be a last joke of the day. Please try to laugh at all. Okay. The question would be like, what do you call a can opener that doesn't work? What do you call a can opener that doesn't work?
Can't opener, can't K-A-N-T.
Can't
Exactly,
opener,
Richa.
yeah.
Exactly, Richa. You're right. Rightly said. At last, my God, goodness.
Oh God, I got it right.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
now we are getting the rhythm of your jokes, Ramesh.
Guys, okay, fine. We'll speak out separately. Okay. With that, I will go to Madhusmita. We have only one option. You have to choose from one. Which one you are going to choose from five?
Yeah.
Five only, right? Okay.
Yes.
I hope my screen is visible. Are you sharing anything meaningful with at least one other person?
Okay. Are you sharing anything meaningful with at least one other person? Yes. Um, yeah, I definitely don't everything to my hold. I like to feel, little bit light, and to be like that, I try to share whatever I feel, whatever I experience, be it at work, be it at my personal level, to at least, one friend or people who are very close to me. So it is not like that I share everything to one person, because, you know, at least by this time you people all know that I'm kind of little bit introvert type of person. I take little bit time to mingle with everyone. Even if I am very close to some of the person, I always won't be in a position to share everything that comes into my heart. But some or other the person should, I make sure some or other person should uh, rage, should knows about me. And if I don't find a person that I can, with whom I can share anything. I go to God, or I just at a private moment where no one is there, I just write down my thought process, or the feelings or the experiences, and that in that way my heart feels little bit lighter. So yes, definitely there is either one person or either this universe knows everything about me. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhusmita. So with that, we came to the end of table topic session. So I'll try to tell one more joke, which already clapped her hand. Okay, thank you. Okay. Why dinosaurs don't talk?
Because they're dead.
Exactly,
Because it's
Richard.
an animal.
Because they are dead. Richardson came into my line. Thank you, Richard. That's it from my end. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Richard.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ramesh, for taking us through wonderful line of topics. There are some table topic, Master, that I'm really curious to take a shot on. One is always you. Last week's table topic session was encouraging, especially when Raman conducted it. I really enjoyed the table topic section. With that, the last discipline. The last discipline is discipline of will. Now, will encourages us to endure and embrace life's challenges and opportunities for growth. There is this beautiful line that everybody says instead of shying away from difficulties, Stoics embrace them as opportunities to become stronger and wiser. Uh, what Ryan Holiday says is look at obstacles as opportunities, is something they look at. Now, again, there are a lot of obstacles that has been coming my way. If I have to say, I was really excited for my wedding or for my yeah, I was really excited to be honest. But what has happened is in the middle of all this, out of nowhere, house has come into picture. So my entire concentration has gone there. Out of again another place, a good VP promotion that is looming in and around. So I have to prepare for that. So obstacles are coming here and there, but if I can look at it in two ways. One is why all this is happening right at the moment where I'm getting married, where I was looking forward to it and I was enjoying for it. But what can I do is I can take this as an opportunities and get rid of things what comes in my way. Rather than thinking, no, this shouldn't have happened. I was so eagerly looking forward to my wedding. But what can I do? I cannot even, hand over things to somebody else. I need to be present in all those events. For an interview, I need to be present. For even a house registration, interior work, that work, this work, I need to go in and I need to be present. For my wedding, obviously, I need to be present. So all the things are coming in, but what you have to do is you have to look obstacles as opportunities, take this as a pinch of salt and look forward to it and enjoy the pressure that is coming in. We always think, no, this shouldn't have happened to me, that shouldn't have happened to me. I did not get through an interview. Why I didn't get through an interview? I should have got. Maybe God has something different planned for you, and within a month or 2 months' time, you might get a better opportunity. And I've seen this happen to me way more than I have imagined. So sometimes obstacles are just probably God's way of anybody's way of for you. It's a testing period for you to say, do you really deserve that house? Do you really deserve that promotion? So if you really deserve it, you will put in that effort and you will go through the brunt of it. So okay, probably at the end of the session, I'll ask what are the three disciplines. And I would like to know if anybody paid attention to the three disciplines that I spoke about. With that being said, now let's move on to the final segment of today's meeting, the evaluation section. So to conduct the evaluations, please welcome back to the stage our general evaluator, DTM Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. Hello, everyone. After having heard prepared speeches and the table topic speeches, we are into the evaluation section where each of us will receive feedback on how we have done in our stage, on the stage today. Let's start with our first prepared speaker, Toastmaster Raman's evaluation by Toastmaster Jaya. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richa. Raman, first of all, my congratulations to you that you had completed your level 1 P3 speech. I would be providing my evaluation based on 3 sections: content, delivery, and body language. Okay, first, I would like to appreciate you for all the good things that you had incorporated in your speech, starting with the purpose. The purpose is presenting a well-researched speech. You absolutely did that. You showed us a lot of numbers. That is not possible without doing a research. So there, the purpose is solved. You got a tick mark there. And the other purpose is presenting a well-organized speech. Your speech had a good opening, and it has got a body, a strong body with a lot of insights and data. And you also ended with the recommendation of how the accidents can be avoided. So there also you got a big tick mark. And then you also shared the takeaways for that. What can we do to prevent the accidents in the future, right? And then your slides were very, very interesting. Your professionalism in finance was purely shown there because you didn't just present the data, you derived insights. Because as an audience, I am not sure what can I do with all these numbers. You have to derive something out of it. You did that clearly, not just presenting data, deriving insights out of that. That was really good. And your graphs are really, really very interesting. Yeah, one improvement point on the slide that I could think of is your slide that talks about safety in numbers. It had 2 graphs. One graph I have to look by tilting my head this side. The other graph I have to just tilt it on the other side. It was a little difficult for me to read because you're presenting the slide for a very short duration, right? Maybe you can just put all the graphs in the same direction or just leave it in the horizontal direction. That will help all the audience who is looking at the graph to read it very easily because it has got numbers, right? So that's one improvement that I can suggest on preparing the slides. And then coming to the body language and delivery, if you could stand up and deliver your speech, that would be very, very interactive for us to see your body language, the hand gestures and everything. Since this is a presentation project, I don't know if you can do a lot of hand gestures because you're already using another object, which is your PowerPoint presentation slides, right? I think that's okay with that. And vocal variety, it was slightly bland. Simple vocal variety could, kind of spice up your speech to the next level. That is one other improvement that I would like to suggest for you. And adding any anecdote, if you had come across any accidents in your personal life, that would help us to connect with you and know more about you, right? Maybe 1 or 2 anecdote you can include in your speeches. I'm not sure about the exact count of hours, but it was not too much. And I could observe hours here and there, right? And that is something that you might want to pay a little focus on. With all these minor improvements, I wish your speech will be taken to the next level. All my best wishes for your upcoming speeches, Toastmaster Raman. Back to you, Toastmaster Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaya. That was a really good comprehensive evaluation of Toastmaster Raman's speech, and I had the pointer of the tilted graphs for the benefit of everyone present in the meeting. The presentation was very well prepared. However, the only point that I found that if you're ever putting in graphs, do not tilt those. You can tilt pictures, you can tilt headers, you can tilt words. Don't tilt graphs because there's information to be consumed. And looking at sideways doesn't really help people lose interest. So that's the only pointer. Apart from that, as Toastmaster Jaya mentioned, right? Story. So you could have simply asked one question. That's a feedback from my side. You could have simply asked people, how many of you have witnessed a road accident till date? So there you could have taken, right? All of us would have witnessed at least once, and that showcases how often, how common it is. Just to drive across the point of how frequent it is in our lives in India, right? So that's the only thing. Otherwise, I think it was a really, really well-researched speech, and a very eye-opening speech, rightly fitting the mind over matter phrase that we have for the meeting today. With that, let's invite Toastmaster Richard to evaluate Toastmaster Madhusmita's speech.
Care about what other people think and you will always be their prisoner. What a way to ensure that everybody took this message home today. Thank you, Madhusmita, for enlightening us with what burden of what will people say is what was stuck in your head. I was particularly impressed with how you started your speech with a question. And that is one of the ways to start a speech. What is it that kills dreams? You also added a quote by Lao Tzu, who rightly said, care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. This is something you did wonderfully well. Your hand gestures were something that was very spot on, and you're constantly moving your hand. And I was thoroughly enjoying your speech. You also did a great job with how you concluded your speech. Your conclusion, as Toastmaster International says, your conclusion should be strong and memorable. It was definitely memorable for me. The two things that I took at the end of your speech was, no matter there could be hundreds of reasons where you might have not to achieve those dreams, but what will others think should not be one of the reasons. And in the end, you ended up with a bang which said, be you, be yourself. So that is something that I really liked in your speech. What are the things that you can do better? Is when you ask a question to the audience, take a pause. Yeah, you have time on your side. Don't rush with things. And something other, you had another follow-up question. And whenever you ask a question, you need to always have two things in mind. What if the audience responds, and what if the audience doesn't respond? So always have answers to both the questions. That is how you take it forward. So for a second, you don't know what to do when you ask the second question, and you are like, okay, what should I do now? Nobody is responding, or what is the way forward? So that is something that you can keep an eye on. Next time, you might also consider slowing down a little. When you write a speech, pick out certain elements in your speech where you might have to pause a little, or you might have to stretch a little, or you might say, in the end, be you, be yourself. So there is something where you can change the tone of voice when you're presenting it. One advice or one suggestion that I have for you is, your title of the speech was burden of what will people say. So do not give too much of your title, too much of information in your title. You could have just said, what will people say? That would have had some curiosity element to it. Don't give a straightforward title. Make it a little curious. That is a suggestion that I have. So in summary, keep up what you started with a bang. You had a question, and your tone of voice was really good. Your hand gestures, and the third thing that was really struck with me was the conclusion. What you can do better is take a pause, slow down, and last but not the least is uh, stress on the speech a little bit. For example, be you, be yourself. So thank you. Over to you, DTM Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. Again, another way to evaluate as the sandwich model, and a very well, very positive evaluation that you have delivered. Again, comprehensive one. You mentioned a lot of points, actually all of it, which I would have added from my side. Just one feedback to you, Toastmaster Madhusmita, and actually to everyone in general. Please avoid having a background or a blur when you are giving a speech, specifically a prepared speech, because it actually creates distraction. It blurs your hand movements, or if you move around, it starts to blur all of those. So no matter how much you prepare, all your preparation, uh, it actually impacts it. The impact that you can create is only 70 to 80% if you blur your backgrounds or add a virtual background, right? It's okay just for that one prepared speech. That's for everyone. Howsoever, a very well presented speech, Toastmaster Madhusmita, a very bold one at that. Thank you so much for bringing that topic up. Let's quickly move on to our tag roles and see how we did on timing, on grammar. We don't have our counter for the day, but anyways, let's start with timing. Toastmaster Ramesh, over to you for the timing report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richa. It was a wonderful meeting today. Everyone has completed the speech and evaluation within a stipulated time. In the prepared speaker session, Toastmaster Raman took 7 minutes, 17 seconds. Toastmaster Madhusmita took 6 minutes, 40 seconds. Followed by table topics. Toastmaster Nivedita took 2 minutes, 7 seconds. Toastmaster Richa took 2 minutes, 23 seconds. Toastmaster Raman took 1 minute, 53 seconds. Toastmaster Richard took 1 minute, 54 seconds. Toastmaster Madhusmita took 1 minute, 24 seconds. At the end of evaluation session, Jayalakshmi took 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Toastmaster Richard took 3 minutes, 23 seconds. So all over, everyone have completed a speech evaluation within a stupid time. It's a really great and good practice we are following in our club. Appreciate to everyone. Over to Toastmaster Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ramesh. Indeed, a record meeting for us where all of us have been within the time limits. Moving on to the next role taker, next evaluator that we have for our meeting is the grammarian report by Toastmaster Nivedita. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richa. So I'll bring up my screen. Just give me 1 minute. Let me know if you can see the screen so that I can just display the report. Okay, for some reason it's not. I had this listed so that it's easy for me to explain. Okay, can anyone confirm if you're able to see the screen?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, let me start with the word of the day. So I see only one person used it based on my observation, which was Madhusmita. If anybody else have actually used it, sorry.
Toastmaster Jaya used it. I used it.
Okay. Thank you. So that was the word. Okay, phrase of the day was again used by Richard twice. Good job on that. So a few good words that I made a note is from Richard. As usual, I get like many good phrases or words from him. So these are few words from Richard, and even for Richa. I really like few new words that I learned from Raman's speech, which is listed here: persuade or flap the book. Flap the book, again, I feel it was a little incorrect. So the better word would be either shut the book or close the book. Other than that, from Madhusmita as well, I have listed a few, which is a fragile period. So these are few words which I would love to incorporate in my BAU or like in my world. So thank you so much for all the nice words, and thank you for using empowering words as well in your speech. Few grammatical errors which I noted is or are these, so you can just make a note of that and maybe you can improvise on that. Are we good with the report? Can I just close this? Thank you. So that was my report for you all. Over to you, Richa.
Thank you, Grammarian Toastmaster Nivedita, and I hope that we all learned new words and learned where we can improve on grammar-wise, time-wise. Our counter is pardoned for the day. Let's move on quickly to the general evaluation report. How did we do in general? So I'll start with how did we do on timings. While each of us were within our time limits, we are still lagging behind. I would like to start with stating that let us all ensure that we join the meeting at 9:59 and not 10:01. Even a few seconds delay of joining can delay the meeting. Today, since we all were within time limits, we managed to complete it or at least manage the time towards the end. Howsoever, please ensure that you join the meeting 5 minutes in advance. Plan your day, plan your morning, the day ahead, and make sure that you have 5 minutes additional to be able to join in advance so that we can start the meeting sharp at 10. With that, I think we had a very energetic meeting today. Very good speeches from our newest member, Toastmaster Raman, and one of the newest Toastmasters in our club, Toastmaster Madhusmita, who has given a speech after a short break that she took from Toastmasters. It's really good to hear the speeches, to hear different perspectives, right? That's really good. Coming to the Toastmaster of the day, it was a very good theme, and we really learned, or at least I learned, what stoicism is and what are the principles that we write. And I hope that we are able to recap it. And take back a few of those principles and apply in our lives. However, a word for anyone who takes up Toastmaster of the day, right? Before you start on going deeper into the theme, make sure that you introduce the role takers. Call up the general evaluator and introduce the role takers even before we start getting into the theme. That way, the role takers also get enough time to introduce their roles. Just for example, today we called the GE at 10:14, which I think is a little late into the meeting. We have already had 14 minutes of meeting. So maybe uh, in the first 10 minutes, we should have called the general evaluator. That's one of the things. We did not have our counter, so that is fine. I think, I'm not sure, this is for the timer report. I'm not sure whether Toastmaster Jaya got timing cards or timing cues or not. I think that was missed. Apart from that, it's a job very well done, Toastmaster Ramesh. Grammarian report, Toastmaster. It was a really good report, capturing a lot of words, recapping us, right? Recapping, and the format that you use, I'm not sure whether it's there on the speaker squad site. If it is not there, please do share it. We will upload because it's a really good template that you have prepared for the grammarian report. Coming to table topics master. That was a wonderfully conducted session, Toastmaster Ramesh. Topics were so good, as Richard mentioned. Our those table topics master do come up with very creative topics, and there's been something which we are seeing every meeting. It's really good. Keep it up. Let's all keep participating in table topics meeting. Just one word of advice for any table topics master. Table topics is somewhere where even guests can participate. So even if the members raise hand, you can choose to call up guests after one or two members have given their table topic speeches, so that they also get an opportunity to try their hand. That's where they can get involved in the meeting. Otherwise, they might not get the feel of it, right? So that's one of the things I would want you to take care of if you take up the table topics master role. Apart from that, I think it for the evaluators, both Toastmaster Jay and Toastmaster Richard, we got to see two different ways in which we can evaluate. We can evaluate based on content, intent, delivery, and we can also evaluate in the sandwich model. So there are different techniques. Feel free to use what you think will give the speaker better feedback on that particular day. There's no hard and fast rule that you have to use sandwich model. However, what you have to ensure is your feedback is always on a positive note, so that the speaker feels encouraged to work on the feedback and come back and give the next speech. With that, I hope you all had a fun meeting. I did. I enjoyed, and it really changed the weekend that I was having, and I will have more energy here on for the rest of it. I hope you all do. All the best. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Richa. I have provided the link to vote. Please go ahead and vote. While you're voting, please tell me what are the disciplines that we learned today. The three disciplines that we learned. Anybody?
Discipline of perception.
Okay, superb. One right. Discipline
Discipline of
of.
will.
Second,
Will.
can we tell? Or
Okay,
will and
superb. Superb, superb. So all were very present and attentive. That's good to hear. With that being said, now let me see how many of you have voted. Take your time, vote. Let me see if I can vote.
Richard, best evaluator, your name is not there. We had me, Richa, and Raman as best evaluator.
Ah, okay. Okay, it's okay. Go ahead. I don't know now if I can change it, but
Change it. People can revote.
it's okay. I have tried to change it, but go ahead. I can see one response that has come my way. So as you all are voting, if Ritwich is around, Ritwich, are you there? Can you tell us how did you feel about Toastmasters meeting and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was very enjoying for me, and I got to learn a lot of things. Since even if you are not doing something, you get to learn from others a lot.
Okay.
So, so full time you are getting
Okay.
something to learn. So I hope
Tha-
I'll improve in future.
Thank you so much, Ritwich, for your inputs and thoughts. And hopefully, I'll connect with you offline to understand more exactly if we can cater to your needs. And hopefully, we see you soon in the club.
We
Sure,
have
sure.
we have one more guest actually.
So, Anish, did you just join?
No, he joined at this time.
Oh, okay, fine. So, Anish, can you tell a little bit about yourself? Just a small introduction. Where do you probably work? And how did you hear about Toastmasters?
Hello, my name is Anish Pinto. You can call me Anish. I work at TIEI, that is Toyota Industries Engine India at Jigni. I heard about Toastmasters from my cousin brother.
Okay. Thank you so much, Anish. To all of you who are thinking who is his cousin brother is, that is myself. So he's staying right next to my door here. So I made him join the Toastmasters meeting. Yeah. So thank you, Anish, for joining in. And let me announce the results. So the best role taker is Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Richard. Best auxiliary role taker is a tie, which is Toastmaster Richa as an essay with an energetic entrance and grammarian Toastmaster Nivedita. Best speaker is Toastmaster Madhusmita. Best evaluator is Toastmaster Jaya. And the best table topic speaker is there is a three-way tie, that is Toastmaster Richard, Toastmaster Richa, and Toastmaster Nivedita. So, congrats to all the winners out there. And my closing thought for this session is there is a beautiful quote by Heraclitus, who is a Greek philosopher, who says, "No man ever steps into the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man," which basically means the only constant in life is change. So, don't be in that thought that why are things changing? Why are things not constant? The only constant in life is change. Take as it goes and be happy with what you have. With that being said, thank you to all the members attending the club meeting 137. We will see you in the next meeting, and I declare this session closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone, bye.
Thank you all. Bye.